Hello, everyone. Happy Amazing Monday. And thank you so much for joining another episode of the Grind Entrepreneur Network It Matters series. And tonight, the It is branding. So it is all about branding matters, and it could not be a better person providing you these branding tips. My guest on this wonderful evening is none other than the lovely Sharvette Mitchell. Let me just tell you a little bit about her. She's a graduate of Virginia Commonwealth University with a bachelor's in science and marketing. She provides web design for female entrepreneurs. She's a coach, a trainer, and she conducts personal and group training and seminars with an emphasis on the use of social media sites. She's been featured in publications such as the Huffington Post, Hope for Women magazine, Diva by Design magazine, and a host of other publications. She also hosts her weekly talk radio show, the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, which airs on 3 internet radio stations, iTunes, and on her personal mobile app. And she's also a contributing author and mogul in the making. And believe it or not, this is just a little bit about all the things she does. But in addition to all of these accolades, she is just a downright awesome person. And she is here to provide you some wonderful tips. And I know she's looking at my note cards because I got that from her. Yes, I did. And so I just want to say, Sharvette, welcome to It Matters, Branding Matters.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharon. I am honored to be here on Facebook Live on Martin Luther King Day. And so thank you for all those that are coming in live and for those that are going to catch us in the replay. I'm tickled pink, as my auntie in Milledgeville, Georgia would say, to be here with you. And that you took some time out to catch this segment.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. I tell you, and guys, while I did give just a little bit about Sharvette, I'm going to allow her an opportunity before she provide all those golden nuggets to us to provide just a little more information on who she is and what it is that she does.
Great. Thank you so much again. And you know what? All of the things that you said, that represents me well. But if you boil it all down, if you summarize all of that, I help female entrepreneurs build their online platforms so that they can generate revenue with an amazing online brand. I am your social media superstar. I am your confidence igniter. I am your overwhelm eliminator when it comes to online marketing and branding. And I'm your straight talking digital product strategist. So that's just a little bit more. If you kind of summarize all of those other things, that's a little bit more about me.
Yes, and I don't, and for me, Sharvette, I don't even know, I'm sure it was through Facebook how I actually connected with you. Not even sure when, not even sure, where, yeah. But all I know is I'm so grateful because you bring the value. I don't care if it's your blog, if it's your little tutorials, I follow you and I do what you say do. And it has truly made a difference to me, which is why I wanted to extend the invitation to you to share with more people because you are awesome. And I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you for that. And I don't know how we connected either, but listen, that's the power of social media. That's the power of this online world. And so, when we talk about branding, some people kind of struggle with what branding means. And the reason why there's oftentimes a struggle is because the definition has changed over the years and it keeps evolving. So if you go to Google right now and put in brand or branding, you're going to get like 100 different definitions because it has just continued to evolve. And so I want to tackle and talk about 5 things that I think in general help people with their overall brand. So that's what I want to talk about.
Okay, and that's awesome. And at this point, it is the Sharvette Mitchell Show. I'm going off and I'm going to have my pen and paper ready. So take it away.
All right. Awesome. So grab your pen, grab something digital. If you are a digital person to write with and capture some notes, please do that. And again, thank you. Hello, Tara. Thank you for joining us. And so when we think about branding, so I started kind of number one when I'm talking to clients and getting them prepared and ready to look at their branding, one of the first things that you want to do is look at and think about who your ideal client is. Who is your target audience? Who is the ideal person that your product or your business or your organization is for? And so you really actually want to start there. And sometimes people say, it's for everyone. And I want everyone to buy, whatever it is that I have. And that's actually not true. In all actuality, you should have a target and you should have an aim. Now, yes, do you hit around the target? If you're throwing darts at the dartboard somewhere, yeah, you do hit around the target, but you still have an aim. And so when you think about your brand, you want to start off number one with who your audience is. Where do they hang out online? What kind of stores are they shopping at? These are some of the questions you should be asking yourself. What type of magazines are they reading? What type of events are they going to? What books are on their nightstand? What type of news or TV shows are they paying attention to and are they watching? And the reason why you want to have that in your mind from the beginning is because that will help steer you in the right direction and in the right pathway when we start talking about some of these visual branding things. In general consensus, a brand, really, there's two components. You've got a visual piece, and then you've got a piece that is not tangible, but it is the feeling that someone has. It is what they are left, what they think about your quality of your products and your services. And so, again, number one, if you're writing down a list and we're talking about 5 things, branding matters, is that you want to think about really who your ideal client is and get a description and a thought process in your mind about them. Hey, Dawn, thank you for joining us. Number 2, I want to talk about your visual branding. Component number 1 is your online brand. So when we think of visual branding, which is what most people think about when they hear the word brand, they think about your actual logo. And they think about your social media presence. And they think about what are the things I can see online. And let me just let you in and clue you in. This day and age, first impressions are often made online before you ever meet anybody in person. Now, in some cases, depending on the service or the product that you're offering, you may never actually physically meet your customer. But for people who are meeting people in line, have a location, have a storefront, have a brick and mortar, your first impressions are still happening online. Guess what? Customers are jumping on and Googling you. They're jumping on social media and looking for you. And so from a branding standpoint, you want to be very consistent with your visual brand online. And so what do I mean by being consistent with your visual brand online? If I come to your social media page in Facebook, and if I go to Twitter, if I go to Instagram, there should be a commonality that I see, a consistency in the types of things that you post and in the visual look of those posts, all right? And so your visual branding online matters. And let me tell you why it matters. It helps people connect the dots. Think about McDonald's. Think about McDonald's. And if McDonald's decided to let every franchise owner do whatever color, golden arch, maybe one person had a golden arch, maybe somebody wanted to do a purple arch, maybe another franchise owner wanted to do another color, it would be very disjointed for the customer because they wouldn't be able to recognize that, oh, this is the McDonald's franchise. So much so that a 3-year-old who cannot read and who cannot write, but will see the golden arches and have a panic attack if their parent does not stop and get them the Happy Meal and the nuggets or what have you. Why? Because visually they have been consistent and they have been in place. Every few miles you go, you're going to see, they're visible, you're going to see a McDonald's. And so just think about it that way, that wherever the person follows you, if they happen to end on your blog and come from your blog over to your social media, does it feel like they're experiencing you the same way? Now, a part of that visual branding, which is tip number 3, is about your colors. So you should have brand colors. Now, what do we mean by brand colors? There should be, you should have at least 2 main brand colors, potentially 1 accent color also. And with your brand colors, those should be the colors that are used on your website, in social media graphics, your social media cover images, any type of flyers that you put out. So look at the Grind Network. You can see that the brand colors are black, red, and white. Look at Dr. Sharon's different flyers that she puts out. Look at the background, the backdrop of her video when she comes back on camera. It all flows with the same colors. So from a branding standpoint, you want your colors to be consistent. You should have the same colors. So it shouldn't be that we come and experience your brand on Facebook and you're green and yellow, and then we go to your website and your website is red and orange, and then we pick up a business card and that's lavender and teal. You see how that's disjointed? You see how that is not cohesive? And so it really mentally helps the customer to connect the dots all along the way of your brand. And so branding matters. And so number 3, if you're writing again, is all about brand colors. You should decide and pick brand colors. Now, there's a ton of information out on the web about colors, the psychology of colors, and those things do matter. So you can research if you haven't picked out and decided what your brand colors are, if you aren't working with a branding coach to help you pick that out. There are articles out there that talk about the meaning of colors, all right? But the main thing, if you boil all of that down, the main thing, whatever colors you decide, you need to stick with them. They need to be consistent throughout anything visual that we see online. So number 4 I want to talk about is visual branding in person. All right. So your brand is multidimensional. So there are people that will experience you online, and that may be their only experience with your brand. So you got to be consistent online with your website, social media, and all of that. And if you're saying, oh, Sharvette, I don't even have a website yet. Well, listen, you're in a good place. We can chat about that. Call Sharvette.com and we'll talk about that. But that's online. But many of you will have an in-person experience where the person experiences your brand in person. So let me give you some examples. If you have a store, you have brick and mortar, there's a location. Well, guess what? You don't want to look dynamic in person, dynamic online, and then they come to the store and like the signage that you use doesn't match your logo, and the flyers that you're handing out somewhere doesn't match what they would see if they go to your website. So your dimensions, all dimensions of your brand should be consistent. So if you are in a location, you want to think about the bags, the tags, the packaging, the signage. All of that is still a part of your brand, and it should be consistent whether they experience you online or whether they experience you in person. Okay, so there may be someone saying, well, Sharvette, I don't have a location. Well, do you ever go to vend? Are you a vendor at a conference? Are you a sponsor at a conference? Are you a speaker and they allow you to set up a table at the back of a conference? Do you host conferences? Those things are in-person opportunities for people to experience your brand. And so you want to think about what's on your table. Do you have a tablecloth? Do you have a retractable banner? What kind of brochure are you handing out? What type of information sheet are you handing out? Do you have business cards? All of that matters. And there's a lot of people who they'll get the in-person part right, and then their online piece is a little, it's a little shaky, all right? And then there are people who look really good online, and then in person, you're like, not so much. So your goal and your opportunity is to just make sure your brand is consistent no matter what dimension they experience your brand, all right? And then number 5, the 5th thing that I would mention that really makes up your brand and that has a big impact about your brand are your products and your services. Yeah. So what is it that you actually offer the world? Hey, Rita, thanks for joining us. What is it that what type of products can we buy from you? What type of services do you offer? That makes up your brand. So let me give you an example to go back to the McDonald's example. Now I love to use McDonald's because they're international, so it doesn't matter where you're listening and watching this from, you can relate to McDonald's. So McDonald's has the Happy Meal, which is for the kids, which let me just tell you the story really quickly. So the other day I was a little hungry. I wasn't too hungry, but I was like, I want something. And so I happened like out of the blue to go to McDonald's and order a Happy Meal. Because it was like, I just wanted a little bit of fries. I just wanted a little of this. And so when I get to the window, they were like, is this for a boy or a girl? I was like, okay, this can be for a girl. And so what's so amazing is that the Happy Meal is a product of McDonald's, but it is a part of their brand. So when you think of Happy Meal, if somebody just says the product name, you automatically associate that with McDonald's. So I want to say to you as entrepreneurs that are watching, what are the products and services you're offering? And are you giving your audience enough that they can associate back to you? Because your products, in particular, digital products and virtual products, which I actually talk about in Product Academy, that is coming up February 5th, your digital products allow you to serve your clients more, allow you to provide more to your clients. So you want to think about your products and your services as a part of your brand. And maybe you thought about that, but maybe not. So again, in that instance of McDonald's, when we hear Happy Meal, that's one of their products, but immediately it has attached and it is attached to their brand. And so we know about them just because of their product and service. So think about your product and your services. Do you have enough? That people have had enough experience with your brand. If you're in a place of building your brand, if you're in a place of building your expertise and showcasing it, maybe you already have expertise, but you're trying to figure out how to showcase it and elevate the level of your branding, then I would submit to you to put more digital and virtual products out into the atmosphere, out into the world that will help showcase your expertise. And so think about that as number 5 for your branding, and branding does matter, and your products and your services, they matter as well. So Tara said, yes, help the customer connect the dots. Absolutely. Catching that comment there in the news feed. You've got to help the customer connect the dots. So things that are really clear to us may not be as clear to the next person. And some of it is psychological, like it's not an intentional thing. It's the colors psychologically. There's a reason why the Happy Meal box is red and the handles are gold. And then the handles look like the golden arches. Like there's a reason for that. Just that little bit just continues to wrap around the McDonald's brand. And so like my brand colors, tonight, I intentionally wore my brand colors. My brand colors are navy blue with a splash of hot pink. I intentionally put on navy blue with a splash of hot pink to be here with Dr. Sharon, and she's got her brand colors on, but those things are intentional. If you go through my news feed on Facebook, if you go to facebook.com/Sharvette, if you just click my name, you will see that what is represented there will be my brand colors. And if you look through things, now does it mean every single thing you post has to bring in your brand colors? No, but people should be able to go through your timeline, should be able to scroll through and see some consistency. So whenever I put a notice out about my web design services and say, hey, schedule a consultation, it's the same graphic that's navy blue and hot pink. If you leave Facebook and you go over to my website, same thing, navy blue and hot pink. If you look at my email, if you're on my email list, those colors are there. So things carry throughout. If you're on my blog, so just as an example, but that's what you want to think about for your brand. So happy to answer any questions or anything that Dr. Sharon wants to add in.
Yes, thank you. That was so wonderful. I wanted you to talk a little more about your Product Academy that's coming up on February the 5th.
Oh, great. Thank you for the opportunity for that. So I am so excited about Product Academy. What I've found is that there are a lot of people who are feeling invisible. They feel like they're online and they see people like either making money or getting customers and they feel invisible. There's a lot of people who have expertise and people are asking them for going out to coffee in their inbox and they're just giving away their expertise and knowledge. There are other people who are saying, I've got all this stuff. I got I got stuff written here. I got stuff written here. I have all this stuff. Who can help me compile it and make sense of it so that I can offer it as a product? So I'm making Product Academy for those types of people that I just described. And so in Product Academy, it's 8 weeks and it's live with me. Zoom video, similar to what we're doing tonight. It's live with me. And I will be showing you on the screen how to create email courses, create, implement, market, how to create ebooks, create them, the strategy, implement, actually as in how does the person get the ebook and how do you get your money? We're going to be doing audio courses and video courses all throughout this 8 weeks. So it starts February 5th, and people can jump over to myacademy.biz/product, myacademy.biz/product, and gives you all the details there. But thank you for allowing me to share that.
Absolutely. You do so many wonderful things. I mean, even just your blog. I mean, you get so much information and so many tools. So that, and I always say, those of you who give value just out there, you know, when you enroll in a course or something that you have, that it's just going to be phenomenal. So definitely, I'm going to have to definitely check that out. Now, before we leave, your website design.
Yeah.
How can they connect you or any of your products and services? How can they connect with you?
All right. If they just want to jump over to my main website, sharvettemitchell.com, is a simple way to get there, sharvettemitchell.com, and you'll be able to see web design services, coaching. There's actually a link there for Product Academy. So anything that I'm offering, you'll be able to jump over to sharvettemitchell.com. And I'm agreeing with Wendy's comment. She said, put a price on your services. Yes, I'm in agreement with that, Wendy.
Absolutely. And you just had your conference, which I had to miss, which I hate. I was already with VIP and everything.
You were VIP and we got a space and it was just, but we got you. We got you. Yes, but so will
that be an annual event?
Yeah, that is actually an annual event. So we will be doing that again in Richmond in December, but I'm working on some things. And so we'll have a few other pop-ups that may pop up in some other cities on the East Coast. So so we'll keep you posted of that.
Definitely.
The main one will still be Richmond.
Yes, Richmond is just right down the road from me. So definitely a train ride away. So
yes.
So I'll definitely keep up that. And also, this is an open invitation because I don't know if you know, but I just started my radio show 2 weeks in. I'm so excited about that. And so definitely whenever you're in the area, you have an open spot on I Am Dr. Sharon show. So please, whenever you come to the DC area, just let me know.
Listen, I'm going to make a trip because it's nothing like, I do host an internet radio show, but it's nothing like that in studio. Yes. That in studio vibe is where it's nothing like it. So yes, I'm going to make a point to get there.
Okay, that's awesome. So guys, I tell you, I'm just so humbled that she actually took the time to come and drop all of these nuggets in about 20 minutes. She did. I'm like writing like crazy, but she did it. And I encourage you to enroll in the Product Academy. That's something I definitely need to check out. It starts February the 5th. And please follow her on all her platforms because you will not regret it. Always giving the good nuggets. Always. Sharvette, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks again. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Rita for dropping the link. Have an amazing rest of your night, guys.
Absolutely. And everyone who jumped on live, thank you so much. Those of you who are catching the replay, we thank you as well. And as the Grind Entrepreneurs mission, support, connect, develop, and highlight entrepreneurs on their grind, tonight was no different. Sharvette Mitchell is on her grind. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful night, and we will talk with you soon.